So today I thought I would try to find some sort of random website in some sort of industry and find a website that's really far down in the results, maybe like fifth or sixth page, and just find what it is about those websites that aren't doing well, or is there something sketchy going on, and just to kind of point out what's going on. I'm going to try to look for something that's really not going to be too competitive, maybe something that's a little bit very nichey. So I'm just gonna try a few different things. My girlfriend and I we have some sets of knives, and I think they're ready to be sharpened. So I'm gonna look for Austin. Oops. Actually, I'm gonna do this on my other account. Here we go. Let's do Austin knife sharpening. All right. So we get the normal local pack here. Few companies here, and then I've been noticing this more as Google's checking in on what they're doing is they're displaying um, you know, listing sites like Yelp to find out like who's, top 10 for, and you can see there's a different ones here, the 10 best, top 10, the top 10 best. So they're doing a few different versions. I think that's kind of sketchy myself, and I think over time that's going to change. But I'm going to go down a little further. We've got listings, we've got Reddit, which is a pretty decent source if you want to, and then we actually have actual websites. And but I'm going to go to a couple pages in. Let's go page 4 and let's see what we got here. Got BBB, Austin Food Chronicle, Jody Horton, Cutco. Those aren't exactly what I'm looking for. So I'm gonna have to go further in. Yes, that's not what I'm looking for. Let's go back to page 2. MapQuest, Angie's List, Verde Kitchen Store. Maybe there's not too much competition here. So I think that's perfect. That's exactly what I'm looking for. So I'm gonna go back to page 1 and there we go. So this is perfect. There's not a lot of competition for this. So and another thing too is there's not a lot of competition, but we have these other keywords here. So as you can see, knife sharpening, round rock, Austin blade. So those are some extra keywords people have been searching for. These are related searches that people have been searching for. So we have a few options here. We have one site sharpening TX, so that's Texas. Um, this one's using WordPress.com, and we've got Austin Knife Sharpist. It's funny. And Austin Dash Blades. That sounds pretty cool. And then Roy's Knife Sharpening. I am going to go with Roy. Let's see what Roy's been doing with his website. I have never been to this website. I have no idea what's going on. And so here we go. This is their website. There's really nothing here, and so let's learn about Roy. So first off, we got a beautiful, picturesque view of a sunset or sunrise. It's got the text over the image, so at least the text is findable. And we've got it's RKS welcome.html. So it's not directly on the root, so that's going to be a problem. It's also not, well, actually, let me see if we can go to the HTTPS version. No, that's not working. There is no HTTPS. That's not great. So let's see what we got here. Welcome to Roy's Sharpening in Austin, Texas. It keeps knives in Texas and Central Texas razor sharp, one blade at a time. Mobile sharpening workshops. That's important. So that might be a good uh, keyword too. So we can take a look here. Let's see. We've got mobile sharpening Austin. And Roy appears, and that could be because I've been searching under my account. Let me see, do it again. Yeah, he's still there. Okay, awesome. And he's housed in a 16-foot cargo trailer. Has everything you need: cut, hone, and polish. Base body knives must use stainless hard steel, which means they hold a fine edge longer than also means they're impossible for most users to sharpen them properly. Good to know. That's some fine education right there. Also set up Saturday, February 8th in the parking lot of the Tractor Supply and Dripping Spring. So that's cool. That's an event. They also sharpen machetes, axes, shovels, loppers, anything that's made of metal. Sorry, no ceramic knives or scissors, clipper blades. Fair enough. $5 per folding knife blade, fixed blades. I think those are pretty decent costs. Springs for kids, knives, pretty much any knife. They also sell knives and kitchen knives. Is everything's priced? Check. And even discounts for cash and check. So he is cash positive. Let's see, looks for us. Cargo knife sharpening. All right, so a lot of great information here, but the website, you know what? I don't want to say it's bad design. I mean, it's not a great design, but there is some good content here. So let's take a look at sales, knife sales, various different name brands. Okay, procedure. Oh, using Flash. That's not really available anymore. So let's see what else we got here. Okay, not a lot of information here. And about Roy. Let's see what we got here. I always like playing with sharp objects. Awesome. Um, so he was in the service, returned to Austin, then in law enforcement. He first with the University of Texas Police Department, then Travis County Sheriff. From the Austin Police Department, retired in 2006. Now he owns this knife sharpening. And yeah, so not too much information here. And the pricing, which we saw a little bit of before. So overall, so as we noticed, there's not a lot of competition for knife sharpening and even mobile knife sharpening in Austin. A couple of the keywords I've searched for. So you know, it wouldn't be hard for him to, jump ahead, I think, of some of the first real website here, which is on-site sharpening ATX, which sounds like it's mobile. Yeah, mobile knife sharpening, and even this design isn't great. And to be honest, I prefer Roy's website, the simplicity of it, over this overly poorly designed site. Granted, they're doing a little bit more with SEO here, but not too much. It's got some stuff going on. So overall, what I'm doing now is just some competition research, intelligence for this little niche here in Austin, knife sharpening. So as you can see here, so they really do have SEO honed in, no pun intended. Knife sharpening service, mobile knife sharpener, mobile knife sharpening. So I'd say that's starting to get a little spammy. Not the end of the world. Service area is perfect. Big blue local internet marketing. That's interesting. I'm going to take a look at that later on. Got some social media here, business hours by appointment. That makes sense. But it might be a good idea to say what days you're not available or when you're closed so people know. Customer testimonials. They got the form right there in center. I think that's great. Let's take a look at their services. Let's see if they're secure. I didn't check that. They are. Excellent. So what I would do for this site is, if this was a decent internet marketing, they would have a redirect from the non-HTTP version of the site to the HTTPS version of the site. And let's take a look at the security certificate. Let's see where they got it from. So they got it from Cloudflare, no problem. Austin's own on-site sharpening, local mobile knife sharpening service with 2 generations of experience. Okay. So Roy is a competitor with them. Right now I'm preferring Roy because I know who he is. This just seems kind of generic, and I feel like Roy's got some personality to him. But that's just my own that's just my own opinion based on what the research I'm doing here. Let me take a look here at the about. Yeah, so they're kind of using the same things on these pages, and that's I'm not happy with that. Yeah, it's all the same, and I don't like that. Local mobile knife sharpening service with 2 generations of experience in greater Austin area. Maintain accounts of restaurants, caterers, professional chefs, home private chefs. So they've got a lot of experience, so they say. And then they Yelp. Take a look here. This takes them to their Yelp page. 5 reviews, all doing pretty good. I am going to go back to their site, take a look at their contact, and not too much here. You know what? I'm probably going to be more interested in wanting to work with Roy for his knife sharpening. And one of the things that I think he has above this other site, On-Site Sharpening Texas, is there's a little bit more finesse with what he's trying to come across here. And I like the minimalism of the site. It's very simple, and he is further down. He's the very last one on the primary page, and there's really only one, two, three, four, 5 different websites that are individual websites as opposed to a local listing or what's it called? Social page. So, but while I'm at it, let me see. Let's take a look at some of the other sites, just really quick ones. All right, so this one immediately went to an about page with a query string. So that's not great. So you have a bunch of different. So Anthony's using Milton from The Office or Office Space, excuse me. Brandy, yeah. So it's interesting. So it's a family business, but they do marketing, branding, and strategy. Interesting. Want to work with that. So what I'm getting here is this is they found a most likely a WordPress theme that was based around marketing, and they're just rehashing that. Let's take a look at the source code here. Yeah, WooCommerce. I don't know why they're really using WooCommerce for what they're doing. Like in plugins, let me see if I can find their theme, shopkeeper theme. So I'm a little confused. Yeah. So yeah, I'm disappointed that they didn't go that far. Let's see if they have anything on their blog. On one blog, and clearly they didn't put too much effort into it. It just says admin. I don't want to it's running a website's hard. Um, So this is interesting. This is from the owner. Yelp keeps moving our reviews to the not recommended box and say, if you don't see any reviews on Yelp, it's not because they are bad, it's because Yelp's logarithms are kicking them out. So we decided to call Yelp, and they said the reason our ads are moving to the not recommended box is because their logarithms are flagging them. So I asked them what the logarithms are looking at. Couldn't tell me. That's fair. The logarithms are proprietary. Asked them to change our business logarithm that is good review friendly because we've had no reviews, and they said they couldn't change our logarithm because everyone has the same logarithms. So, that's just Frank doesn't really understand the algorithms and the proprietary aspect of them. Asking some questions here. So, very fun. So if I was Frank, he's got 2 questions here. This would be perfect for an FAQ on his website, but he hasn't gotten there. What else we got here? We're going to go to the contact page. It keeps creating this query string, so I'm interested in what that is. You can see here they've got all their information here. Austin Blades LLC, and I'm not going to go into any further than that. So next we have Austin Blades. Okay, I don't know how this is doing better than Roy. Roy's got much more information on his website. Poor Roy. No information. And this goes back to his dub version, okay, so this is Squarespace. Not too bad. Not too bad. This is awful. All right, let's go to Knife Party Mobile Sharpening. This is a WordPress.com site. It's got some parallels. So this is looking pretty sharp. Um, uh, no pun intended. There is some information that he admits there's no storefront yet, so we have two options: schedule a mobile visit or visit one of the farmers markets. That's pretty cool. Knife party, nice. Um, so medical instruments sharpening. So they've got some niches in here. Grateful testimonials. So not too bad. It's a one pager. I'm surprised this one is not doing as well as on-site sharpening. So I don't have any link tools right now that I would normally look into this and see what's going on. But so what I'm going to do is I kind of like Roy. So I'm going to reach out to Roy and talk to him about getting our knives sharpened. But I also plan on talking to him about working on his website maybe and telling him what I'm going to do. And I'm going to look into actually, maybe I won't tell him what I'm going to do, but I am going to, over time, I'm going to look into looking at his website and some of these other competitors and looking at their links and seeing why, things are going the way they're going. I understand why Knife Party mobile sharpening is doing better than Roy's, but I don't understand why Roy's is doing worse than, where's this other one? Austin Knife Sharpist. I mean, this is just awful. So what I think is happening here is I think Austin Knife Sharpist has links or going to his site. What's probably helpful too is that there's actually a actual location here as opposed to Roy is just mobile. And one of the things he could do is perhaps um, use this address at the tractor. So actually, no, he couldn't use that because that's Tractor Supply. So, very interesting. But I'm also considering that was retired and is probably just happy with this as a side hobby. So all of this is just assumptions, but over time I'm going to look into this a little bit more. And my goal is to see if we can get Roy to be to go ahead of all of these individual small businesses and maybe even compete with some of these. So I'm not going to look too much into any of these. Not really interested in looking at the local stuff right now. So I'm going to go ahead and end this episode. We'll see what we can do later on.